I'm 78 years old and I need to tell you something that nobody told me when I was your age. For most of my life, I thought being a good woman meant saying yes to everyone. My husband, my children, my parents, my friends, my boss. I thought that's what love looked like. I thought that's what strength looked like. I was wrong about everything. You see, I spent 60 years of my life trying to be perfect. The perfect wife, the perfect mother, the perfect daughter, the perfect employee. And you know what I got for it? Exhaustion, resentment, and a life that didn't feel like mine. But 7 years ago, something happened that changed everything. My husband died after 42 years of marriage. He was gone. And for the first time in my adult life, I was alone. Completely alone, and I was terrified. Not because I missed him, though I did, but because I realized I had no idea who I was without him. I had spent my entire life being someone's something, someone's wife, someone's mother, someone's helper. But who was I? What did I actually want? What made me happy? I couldn't answer those questions, and that scared me more than anything. Let me take you back. When I was 22, I got married. It was 1968. Different times, you understand. Women didn't have the choices you have today, or at least we didn't think we did. My mother told me, a good husband is all you need. Everything else will follow. So I married him, a nice man, a good provider, and I became the good wife. I cooked, I cleaned, I raised the children, I supported his career. I smiled when I was supposed to smile. I stayed quiet when I was supposed to stay quiet. And the thing is, I wasn't unhappy. Not exactly. I loved my children. I enjoyed parts of my life. But there was always this voice in the back of my head asking, is this it? Is this all there is? I ignored that voice for 40 years. When I was 35, I wanted to go back to school. I'd always loved literature. I dreamed of teaching. But my husband said we couldn't afford it. The children needed me. Maybe later, he said. So I waited. When the kids were grown, I brought it up again. But then he was thinking about retirement. We'd need to help with his parents, maybe in a few years. So I waited again. When I was 55, his parents had passed. I thought, now it's my turn. But our daughter got divorced. She needed help with the grandchildren. How could I think about myself when my family needed me? So I waited again. And then at 71, he died. And there was nobody left to wait for. Here's what nobody tells you about being a woman, especially a woman of my generation. We were taught that self-sacrifice was noble, that putting everyone else first made us good, that our worth came from how much we gave, not from who we were. And it's a lie, a beautiful, terrible lie, because here's the truth I learned too late. You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't love others fully when you don't love yourself. You can't give everything away and expect to have anything left. I gave and gave and gave. And when my husband died, I looked in the mirror and I didn't recognize the woman staring back at me. She looked tired. She looked old. She looked sad. And she looked like a stranger. The first year after he died, I was lost. I'd wake up with nothing to do, no one to cook for, no one to serve. For 60 years, my identity had been wrapped up in other people, but then something happened. About 18 months later, I found a letter he'd written before we married. In it, he talked about my intelligence, my curiosity, how he couldn't wait to see what I would accomplish. I sat on the floor holding that letter, and I cried because that girl he'd fallen in love with, I'd buried her. Not all at once, but slowly over the years, I'd put her dreams aside. I told myself I was being selfless, but really I was disappearing. That's when I made a decision. I was 72 years old, and I decided it wasn't too late. I enrolled in community college, literature classes, art history, philosophy, things I'd always wanted to study. I was the oldest in my classes, but I didn't care. For the first time in decades, I felt alive. I started traveling. Small trips at first, places I'd always wanted to see, and it was wonderful. I started saying no. This was hardest. My children would call and I'd say, sorry, I have plans. My friends would invite me to things I didn't want to do and I'd say, no thank you. And you know what? The world didn't end. People adjusted and I felt lighter. I'm 78 now and I finally know who I am. Not somebody's wife, not somebody's mother, just me. A woman who loves literature and art, who enjoys her own company, who travels when she wants, who says no when she means no and yes when she means yes. But here's the heartbreaking part. I wasted so much time. 60 years of my life I spent being who I thought I should be instead of who I wanted to be. 60 years of putting myself last. 60 years of shrinking myself to make room for everyone else. And I can never get those years back. So let me tell you what I wish someone had told me when I was 20, when I was 30, when I was 40. You are not selfish for having dreams. You are not selfish for wanting things for yourself. You are not selfish for saying no. You are not selfish for taking care of yourself first. You think you have all the time in the world. You think, I'll do it later, after the kids are grown, after I retire, when things calm down. But things never calm down. There's always another reason to wait, another person who needs you, another obligation, and before you know it, you're 70 years old and you've never lived for yourself, not once. Don't make my mistake. Don't wait for permission to live your own life, because that permission will never come. Nobody's going to tell you it's okay to be yourself. Nobody's going to say now it's your turn. You have to take it. You have to claim it. If you want to go back to school, go. Don't wait until your kids are older or your schedule is clearer. Do it now. If you want to change careers, change. Don't wait for the perfect moment or until you've saved enough money or until everyone approves. Do it now. If you're in a relationship that makes you feel small, leave. Don't stay because you've already invested so much time, or because you're afraid of being alone, or because you think it's too late to start over. It's not too late. It's never too late. Your life is not a practice run. This is it. This is the only one you get. And every day you spend living for someone else is a day you're not living for yourself. I know what you're thinking. But what about my family? What about my responsibilities? What about being a good person? And I'm telling you, you can be a good person and still have boundaries. You can love your family and still have your own life. You can fulfill your responsibilities and still pursue your dreams. In fact, you'll be a better mother, a better wife, a better daughter, a better friend when you're living authentically, because you can't give from a place of resentment. You can't love others when you're angry at yourself for giving up your dreams. The women in my generation, we were taught to be small, to be accommodating, to smooth things over, to never make waves. And we did it. We did it so well that we disappeared. But you don't have to. You have choices we didn't have. You have opportunities we didn't have. Don't waste them trying to be perfect. Don't waste them trying to please everyone. Because here's the truth. You'll never please everyone. There will always be someone who thinks you're being selfish. There will always be someone who's disappointed. There will always be someone who wants more from you. But the only opinion that really matters is yours. Can you look at yourself in the mirror and be proud of who you see? Not because of what you've done for others. Not because of how much you've sacrificed, but because you're living a life that feels true to you. I look at young women today and I see them making the same mistakes I made. Saying yes when they mean no, putting their dreams on hold for their partners or their children or their parents, shrinking themselves to fit into someone else's idea of what a woman should be. And I want to shake them. I want to tell them, stop, stop right now. Your dreams matter. Your voice matters. You matter, not because of what you do for others, but because you exist. It took me 72 years to learn that lesson. 72 years to realize that I was allowed to take up space, that I was allowed to have desires, that I was allowed to choose myself. Don't take 72 years. Learn it now, today, this moment. Your younger self is depending on you, and your older self will thank you. I'm 78 years old. I've been living for myself for only 6 years. 6 years out of 78. And these have been the best 6 years of my life. I'm happier now than I was at 30. I'm more myself now than I've ever been. I'm finally free. But I would give anything to have these 40 years back. To have started living for myself at 35 instead of 72. To have said no when I meant no. To have pursued my dreams when I first had them. To have taken up space instead of shrinking. You still have time. You have so much time, but only if you start now. Only if you stop waiting for permission. Only if you stop putting yourself last. Your life is happening right now, not later. Not when things are easier, not when everyone else is taken care of. Right now. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to live it for yourself? Or are you going to wake up one day at 78 and realize you spent your entire life living for everyone else? The choice is yours, but make it now because time doesn't wait, and neither should you. If this resonates with you, I hope you'll share it. Not for me, but for every woman who needs to hear this. Every woman who's putting her dreams on hold. Every woman who thinks she's being selfish for wanting more. Every woman who's waiting for permission to live her own life. The permission is granted. Now go live.